Hello, I just wanted to touch base with the class as we begin week 5 in the criminology class here at the University of New Haven. A couple of things I wanted to touch on as we move forward. Talk about chapter 5 a little bit as it compared to chapter 4, and one of the discussion questions that are going to be popping up, as well as what the midterm is going to entail. I've had some questions on that. But first, let's jump into what we're going to be talking about on Chapter 5. So Chapter 5 really starts to discuss the trait theories of criminology and how it relates to crimes. So many researchers believe that human behavior traits, psychologically, and biologically are really at the root of what causes people to become involved in criminal activity as it compares to just a rational choice. So, biologically, more intelligence would maybe lead to better choice. But certainly the chapter gets into great detail and starts to talk about all the different foundational trait theories as they evolved. Certainly, sociological issues certainly surround, what's going on with criminality and contemporary trait theories. So I think you're going to find the chapter very, very informative and opens up a lot of new ideas, certainly as it's compared to rational choice and people's personalities themselves. I think that as you get down towards the end of it, one of the if you continue on your career in law enforcement, you're going to be evaluated psychologically also as you get into law enforcement career, and they're going to do. Researchers have prepared tests to try to determine the best they can and measure the accurate personalities of people. So law enforcement officers are often have to take, the Minnesota multifaceted personality inventory test or the California personality inventory test as part of their process to become involved in a law enforcement career. And also, there's a lot of talk now about genetics and whether or not, genetically people can be predisposed to criminal activity. So, as we take a look at the discussion question this week, and if we could measure someone's ability to commit crime based on genetics, should we have that profile already to prevent crime? So, what would that do to our society? This past week, we also discussed that the Florida shooting, although it said yesterday, that discussion question was written last year. So, that was the day after Nicholas Cruz went in Parkland, Florida, and murdered 13 or 14 students and 3 administrators. And if we could have biologically tested Nicholas Cruz years ago, maybe when he was born, to look for these genetic traits, could crimes like that have been thwarted off, through maybe some therapy or getting someone that could be prone to criminal activity into some sort of therapy early on or counseling so that they would not commit those types of crimes. So although that question was a year old, I still think that it's very apropos for the class this year. And what were your thoughts on it? Was he born bad? Was he just a bad guy from the very beginning, and he just continued on a life and then developed such a hate that he went out and murdered people? So, as we take a look at those things, what is the greater good if we could measure the personality or criminality in a person's ability to commit crime genetically long before they actually commit that crime? So, give a little thought. The discussion questions have been great. I just want to do a little bit of, course housekeeping. So the midterm will be coming up. It's going to be 100 questions. It'll be given over Blackboard. Usually I post it a week. You have all week to take it. When you log on to the test, you have to answer 100 questions. predominantly they come from Cengage. And nothing should surprise you. It'll be a test bank of over 120 questions. I'll give you each student 100, and you usually have 2 hours to complete the test, and you have to do it all in one sitting. So, log on to the test during that week, take the test. You can only take it once, but I don't think you're going to have any problem as long as you've been keeping up with the coursework. Which brings me to another point. If for some reason you're behind, or for some reason you see in the future where you may have a problem, you need to get in touch with me immediately. I'm not really good at fielding problems that are over a month old. So, unfortunately, some students have, not done coursework for a month and got in touch with me and asked to extend due dates, and I'm usually not good at that. It's not fair to the students that have been keeping up with it every week. So, you guys are doing a great job. If you have any questions or you have any concerns, please email me. I try to get back to everybody just as soon as possible. And again, good luck, and we'll probably talk to you in another week or so. Bye now.